Ahead.
Good afternoon and welcome to Franklin Field here on Zaleski Sports. Matt Peck, Elijah Vinks-Salata here for a big non-conference matchup between the Kaukauna Galloping Ghosts and the Franklin Sabres. Excited to be here as we got some two top 25 teams in the state meeting up here. They've met up the last couple of years. It's number 13 Kaukauna and number 9 Franklin. Here a big matchup as we took a look at the records for the season. Kaukauna 10-3-1. The one tie came to Muskego in a suspended game in the second inning. Actually at this complex, but over at the Rock, over across the way. So Kaukauna, last time they made the trip down, they've only played 2 innings and had to go back home. So today it's looking like a better day for them. It's sunny outside. And Kaukauna comes in with a win over Fond du Lac on yesterday, a win over Appleton East on Thursday, then a win over Oshkosh North on Tuesday. So they have won 3 straight after a loss to Hortonville last Thursday. Franklin Sabres, who, let's just say, have been playing some pretty good ball to start the year. Only one loss coming to Muskego last Saturday in a game which they led at one point. Once I make sure I get Franklin's info up here. Okay, Franklin 14-1 on the season. They have won 3 straight games, but before that they were undefeated up until that point. They played a lot of their conference games this year for Franklin haven't been remotely close. Except the 5-1 win over Bradford the other day. So now as we set things off here, leading off for Kaukauna is Braun Schaefer. Starting on the mound today for Franklin is Bennett Schuler as the first pitch hits the outside corner for a strike. So 0-1 on Schaefer. Here's the pitch. And low in the dirt, ball 1. Lineup, it goes as following in the outfield. Walters in left, Hurling in center, Furley in right, Frazier at third, Bombian at short, Hertel at second, and first is Schwingle. So the count will be 2-1, I believe. I was looking down at the lineup in that last one. So
I got 1-2 for now, but
1 ball, 2 strikes coming up here. There's no scoreboard running here today, so we're going to go by our own scoreboard. That one's ripped up the middle. Base hit to center field. Braun Schaefer leads us off with a base hit for Kaukauna. Now I'll give you a little synopsis on Bennett Schuler, the pitcher for Franklin today. He's been on varsity since, I think, freshman year. His fastball maxes at 78 miles per hour, sits around 76, 78. Throws his changeup about 68 to 69, curveball 65 to 66, and the slider as well 64 to 68. Now the hitter is Caden Kress with a runner on first. That one misses outside, ball 1, and it gets away, and Schaefer will get up to second base. Keep in mind, though, we have a far backstop here, so if the catcher doesn't get up in time, if you have a fast run out there, you possibly could take 2 bases. Playing at the home of the Milwaukee Milkmen today. They play in the American Association Professional Baseball. Kaukauna head coached by Michael Jenkins. Kaukauna you probably see often on Zaleski Sports, one of the home schools in the Fox Valley area. I think Zaleski Sports does all their home games, so they get a road game today as well. There's a bunt from Kress, and nobody's going to be covering first. He's going to end up being safe. What a play. Kaukauna draws the infielders in. And Schuler and Hertel kind of didn't know where to go with it. And nobody was covering first, so he's got a brother named Kyle. Caden Kress gets the run over to third, Schaefer, and ends up being a single. So there'll be runners on the corners, no outs here for Kaukauna with Braden Jenkins at the plate.
that's Brewers baseball.
Yeah, they must be watching a lot of Brewers baseball. So no outs, runners on the corners. Runner takes off for second. Thrown on a second is going to be high, and Kress steals second. I'm surprised they threw that, considering Schaefer could take off for home.
So you officially eliminate the double play now. And Kaukauna with the chance with a base hit right here to make this a 2-0 game right out the chute.
So Kress on second, Schaefer at third, Jenkins the hitter now. Schuler sets here. 7 pitches early, he takes a strike in there.
Schuler struggled a little bit in that outing against Muskego last week, given Muskego is the reigning D1 state champions, but they challenged them last week for sure. Franklin only a team that's lost 1 game so far this season.
Here's a pitch, 1 ball, 1 strike, swing and a miss, strike 2. And Franklin, we talk about conference. Right now, they're just killing it in conference. They haven't lost a game yet, and the way things are trending, I should knock on wood for them They may not lose a game all year in conference.
They beat Kenosha Bradford.
Swinging a miss, strike 3. Meanwhile, throw it on the first to secure the out is in time. So 1 down as Jenkins strikes out. Go ahead.
They beat Kenosha Bradford by, you ready for this run differential? They scored 27 runs and Bradford only scored 4 runs the whole series. Wow. So that's their outlook on their series last week as Gussman comes to the plate. That's a huge first out for Bennett Schuler to get a strikeout, the strikeout there and secure it at first.
So now Quentin Gussman at the plate, 2 runners on base. Steve Drobot probably hoping for a grounder like last time, or a strikeout. Because obviously a grounder right now most likely will score a run as the first pitch is in there for a strike on Gussman.
Yeah, a week ago they fell to Muskego 7-6.
Yeah.
As Muskego, they were down, or Franklin was up 6-4 in the bottom of the 6th, but a rally for the reigning D1 state champions to come back and win it.
That one's line in the air foul heading towards Lux Golf.
And,
almost hit that tractor over there.
Schuler in his last outing, only 1 inning, 3 hits, 4 earned runs, 2 walks, and 1 strikeout. So, going to have to get that command and the hits to a minimum today if they want to keep this Kaukauna team at a minimum with their runs.
0-2 on Gussman coming up here. Here's the pitch. And high, ball 1.
It's a smart pitch right there, but you got to be a little bit careful. You definitely like to trust your catcher behind the plate, but
that's for
that
sure.
Could have went to the backstop and scored the first run of the game in a heartbeat right there.
1-2 coming up here on Gussman. 2 runners on. Schaefer on third. Kress at second. In scoring position. Here's the pitch. Outside again. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And Kaukauna actually brought a number of fans down here to Franklin. Made the hour 45, 2-hour drive.
Yeah, like the 5.
Oh, there's actually some below us too.
Below us too.
Yeah.
I didn't see those. I saw those on the first baseline where they're set up.
2 balls, 2 strikes come up here. 1 out on Gussman.
It's the JV team, right? Right behind their dugout, playing at Franklin later.
Here's the pitch, and just a little bit high. So full count coming up here.
Honestly, if you walk Quentin Gussman here, that's not the worst thing ever if you're Franklin, because you have a chance to turn a double play after that.
Yeah.
But then
you need the grounder.
You get the threat. You get the threat of the big run inning.
Yeah.
For sure.
And we've seen people hit home runs here before, so I wouldn't rule it out.
Oh, yeah.
Gussman, 3-2 here is a big pitch. 3-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Gussman down swinging, and Schuler 1 out away from potentially getting out of this.
This innings kind of remind me a little bit of that last game we did on the network with Kenosha Indian Trail and Kenosha Tremper, where one team had the runners on and just couldn't score anything off of it with no outs.
So, yeah, 2 outs now for Vandy Lou. That's Blake Vandy Lou and 2 runners on base. Schaefer at third, Kress at second. Here's the pitch, and hits the inside corner, strike 1.
Schuler has definitely dialed it in after a pair of hits to open up this game. The base hit up the middle and the bunt single.
Franklin has had to resort to more non-conference games this year. After this pitch, I'll talk about it. After losing Oak Creek from the conference, they moved to the Classic 8. So that's 3 less games that they play each year. Southeast plays 3-game series. So Oak Creek, we should say Franklin's got to resort to more non-conference games, which they played Kaukauna last year, even with the normal SEC conference. But Kaukauna's been, I think, the last 2 years for Steve Drobot's squad. 1 ball, 1 strike coming up, and that one hits the outside corner, strike 2. And Schuler, after allowing the first 2 runners on, is 1 strike away. But Vandy Lou is also 1 swing away from putting them up 2-0 here as well. So 1 ball, 2 strikes coming up here for Kaukauna. Here's the pitch from Schuler, and gets away! And here comes the first run of the game. Not the way Franklin probably wanted to let it happen, but Schaefer comes in to score. Kress moves up to third, and Kaukauna gets the 1-0 lead.
He's had a couple of those fringy pitches early, but Nass, he's done a great job with those first few, and now this one finally gets past. And you were saying this is a really large backstop behind them, and that easily scored the first run of the game.
Yeah, so 2 balls, 2 strikes as Kress moves up to third. Schaefer scores on Vanderloo. Here's the pitch, and outside, ball 3.
Kaukauna definitely got a huge break right there.
For sure. So 3 balls, 2 strikes come up here. Full count for Schuler and Vanderloo. Here's the pitch, and swing and a miss, strike 3. Despite the wild pitch, Kaukauna gets a run, 1-0. We head to the bottom of the first inning. More baseball after this on Zaleski Sports.
Good day. My name is Ken Hyman, and welcome to Nasonville Dairy here in central Wisconsin, Marshfield, Wisconsin, as a matter of fact. We make a lot of different cheeses. We make cheddar, Colby, Monterey, Farmer's Cheese, Peach Cheese, Quesa Blanca, Quesa de Freer, Seco, Parm, Romano, Asiago, Fontina, Feta Caseri, Caflateri, Cafla Graviera, 20 different flavors of Monterey, as well as making Edam, Gouda, and Munster. And the cheese be with you.
Hey, you're tuned in to Better Halves.
Skip, I love my hometown, and I want a health plan that feels the same way. So, what are your favorite local date spots?
Yeah, I know like all the date spots in Eau Claire.
Jane, I'm Steve from Security. I've lived here in Wisconsin my whole life, and that means I understand your health coverage needs better.
By the way, Doug, it's Eau Claire. I have a dozen Eclairs in my dressing room.
Back here on Zaleski Sports, bottom of the first inning coming up here for the Franklin Sabres, who trail 1-0. Here we remind you of today's sponsors. Today's game is sponsored by Prospect Training Academy. At Prospect Training Academy, we train to develop and create leaders on and off the field. We teach our players to be prepared, tough, and accountable. We also focus on the importance of academics and character. We play for the name on the front and the teammates around us. Sign up today at ptabaseball.com. Franklin coming to bat here to begin the first inning. The lineup's going to be Nick Furley, Bennett Schuler, the pitcher, Dominic Walters, Taven Nass, Carter Schwingle, Dominic Bombian, Dylan Hurling, Carter Frazier, and Bryce Hertel. And the Sabres are coached by Steve Drobot. So Franklin leads off with Furley. Geithner, the pitcher for Kaukauna. Here's the pitch. Furley takes high, ball one. So 1-0 Furley. That one's ripped in the air, right field. Going deep. Looking up. And foul. Oh, he just missed a home run.
I think that was gone if that was fair.
I couldn't find the ball at first there for
Just
a minute.
a little. That usually means you're a little earlier late on it, right?
Yep.
Didn't quite hit the sweet spot on it, if you will.
Here's the pitch to Furley. He takes that one low in the dirt. Bennett Geithner, the starting pitcher today. He's class of 2027, so only a junior. Let's see, I don't have pitching stats on him. I have hitting. Oh, wait, I have something on pitching. He's fastball max is 85 miles per hour, and that one, meanwhile, is right, line to right field, a base hit for Furley. So, yeah, Geithner, 85 mile per hour. He ranges about 83, 85. Changeup 79 to 81. Curveball 73 to 76 range, and then he throws a slider as well, 76 to 77. That's Prep Baseball Wisconsin, who does those tests. So Furley on as the leadoff hitter for Franklin. So now the hitter will be Bennett Schuler, the pitcher.
You know, you mentioned, how Franklin has a really good offense, right? I mean, 9 out of their 10 games.
That one's lined to left, base hit, and Bennett Schuler now on. First pitch.
Yeah, you mentioned that, right? I mean, how you're talking about their hitting. 9 out of their first 10 games of the season for Franklin, they scored at least 10 runs.
Wow.
That's how you know this is a power hitting team, and they will haunt you with their contact. And this is Mr. Highlight House coming up to the bat right now.
Dominic Walters. He's been in the house, I think, for every sport so far in our Milwaukee area Zaleski Sports crew.
Taking names just like Ben Vergis was, right?
What's with the Franklin kids being in the house on every broadcast? Anyways, Furley and Schuler take their leads on base. Franklin's been heavily advantaged early in the counts. Meanwhile, Furley takes off for third. I want to call him the speedy Furley because he seemed like he was off right, even though the ball didn't get away from the catcher. So now Franklin's got runners on the corners. Schuler stays at first on that one as Furley advances to third. Dominic Walters, the hitter. Walters steps back in with runners on the corners. Walters lines up with a third. Nice play at third base. On to second in time. And gets the out at second. But what a play over there by Urban. Diving stop to save. It brings home a run, but gets him an out.
That was a rocket, too, off of the bat of Walters.
So Furley comes home to score. Schuler out on the fielder's choice. And Walters at first now with one out. Here's the pitch. That one's inside. Throw it on a second is going to be not in time. Just in there. That time is Walters. He just got under that one. And this one, now the batter is Taven Nass.
Speed kills.
Yeah, Franklin's stealing a lot of bases here early on. 1-1 ball game meanwhile as well. Geithner sets. Here's the pitch. Low in the dirt, ball one.
And it looks like for Franklin, too, they already got some action going up in that bullpen, so maybe Schuler just an opener today.
Yeah, you never
Looks
know.
like that's Prescott Sanford, the junior, getting loose in the bullpen.
1-1 strike taken low. 2-1 now, 1 out for the Kaukauna defense here in the bottom of the first inning.
Keep in mind, Franklin did do that their game against Muskego last Saturday where Schuler only pitched an inning and Sanford went 4 to 5 innings.
That one's ripped, foul to the back screen.
You don't see that all too often, right, where a lot of high school teams do openers.
No, you don't see that, especially when they got a lot of games in a week. But, Franklin's played, this is probably their 4th game of the week, considering they played Bradford 3. So 2 balls, 2 strikes now on Nass. Here's the pitch, and low in the dirt, ball 3. And keep in mind, Franklin, we're going to be back there for that game, too. They host Hortonville in a couple weeks.
That's going to be a potential state preview.
Yeah. So 3 balls, 2 strikes here on Nass. Here's the pitch, and that one's popped up in the air, right field. Gussman going over. He'll make the catch. Walters will tag. Walters into third base with 2 outs as he tags up on Nass's sac fly. So 2 down now in this first inning for Schwingle. So 2 down here as Walters on third base.
About that, the sun's starting to peek out now completely. I know it's at some point today it's going to get clear, right?
Yeah. Here's the pitch, low in the dirt, ball 1. We could use this weather when we did that Muskego-Hudson game a couple weeks ago. That was already 3 weeks ago, I think.
Wind is definitely a factor today. 63 degrees right now as we speak.
Here's the pitch, and hits Schwingle right in the back, and he'll take first base.
A little bit of trouble on the mound so far now for the starting pitcher, Geithner. Kind of hesitated on it for a sec.
So Bombian now at the plate with runners on the corners, 2 outs.
This will be a great nickname for him.
Inside, ball 1.
Would be a great nickname for him if he could hit a bomb out of here for Bombian.
There you go. So 1 ball, no strikes. Here's the pitch, low in the dirt, 2-0. Schwingle and Walters, the base runners.
It's something I noticed about Franklin's bullpen. I mean, not bullpen, their dugout, too. They like to get rowdy in their dugout and cheer for their guys. Each game and each game out, they support each other, and their chemistry is off the match here.
Yep, 2 balls, no strikes. Inside, ball 3, and that's 2 pitches now from Geithner that have nearly clipped Bombian and had 2 hitters hitting.
Geithner's lucky that didn't get past Urban. Urban saved a run right there.
Yeah.
Because if that gets past him, that's easily scoring Walters with his speed.
3 balls, no strikes. Here's the pitch as Bombian shows bunt, and it's low, ball 4. And Franklin loads the bases now in the bottom of the first. So now Dylan Hurling, the center fielder, will hit with bases loaded, 2 outs. So Franklin looking to threaten here as well, similar to how Kaukauna did in the first inning. Kaukauna only came away with 1 run. Kaukauna looking to do the same thing here on defense as that pitch misses high, ball 1.
Command's an issue now for Geithner.
So 1 ball, no strikes. Here's the pitch, and that one misses away again, 2-0, as Geithner pitching from the windup with bases loaded. Might as well, runners can't go anywhere. 2 outs, keep in mind as well. Kaukauna, ground ball, fly ball from getting out of this, keeping that 1 run. That one's lined up the middle, base hit to center field. Walters will score. They will hold Schwingle at third. So runners move 90 feet, and Franklin takes the 2-1 lead. As Dylan Hurling comes through with a hit.
It's been the contact and the plate discipline so far for head coach Steve Drobot's squad. And they're showing right now why they are a 13-1 team.
So now Carter Frazier, the hitter.
Almost sit through their whole order.
Carter Frazier grounds that one foul to the Sabres dugout.
They're at the 8-hole hitter. Still got Hertel to go after Frazier.
Here's the pitch to Frazier. Inside. 2-0 coming up now.
I like that too. Drobot giving the green light from third base on that last at bat from Hurling, knowing that he trusts him with his contact.
2-0 on Frazier. Misses outside, ball 3.
Now I think you take all the way here.
Yes, I would too.
Given that you get a ball here, you walk or run in. No hesitation. Unless he gets an absolute meatball here.
Here's the pitch. And
Oh,
that one's
he
fouled
thought
back.
he got it.
And that actually would have went to where we were going to set up.
Whoa. So that's interesting, right?
Yeah.
Going for it on 3-0 right there. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, that's well. Obviously, he wanted it. Apparently, it's 2-2 according to Game Changer. And called strike 3.
I thought he had a full count on it.
I had the count run the whole time as Geithner gets out of it, only giving up 2 runs. Franklin gets the bases loaded. We'll head to the second inning, 2-1 Franklin lead.
At Ridgestop Exteriors, we're more than your average home improvement company. We're your neighbors, and for over 20 years, we've been trusted and proudly serving right here in your community. Customer service is our #1 goal. Call now for your free estimate.
Ridgetop Exteriors.
Coaches teach your kids to dream. Coaches teach your kids to overcome. Coaches teach your kids good sportsmanship. Coaches teach your kids proper technique. But who teaches your coaches?
Back here on Zaleski Sports. Top of the second inning, new pitcher in for Franklin. It's going to be Shuley?
Shoe?
No, for Franklin. Aiden Shuley, the batter for the pitcher for Franklin.
It's interesting because I thought that was Prescott Sanford. I think that's Prescott Sanford that was the one that was warming up. So it's 24, right? Yeah, that's Sanford, I think.
Yeah, they got the number wrong on here. Okay, so Prescott Sanford, take that back as a new pitcher for Franklin. So Paxton Shue will lead off for Kaukauna this inning.
So they are going that route of that Muskego game last week where they started the first inning off with Bennett Schuler as an opener. And I figured Schuler's probably gonna stick in this game though, obviously.
Yeah.
But Prescott Sanford comes in to pitch. 5 innings his last time out, or when they played Muskego, 3 hits, 3 earned runs, 4 walks, and 8 Ks. He gave up a lot of walks, not till late though, because he came into that game against Muskego into a little bit of a fire. 4 runs to open it up there.
Pitches low, ball 1 to start off the inning.
It's good to have a lot of lefties in your bullpen, though.
Here's the pitch from Sanford. Low ball, 2. So 2 balls, no strikes here on the batter Paxton Shoe. Here's the pitch, swing and a miss, strike 1.
Yeah, he had 8 Ks. He threw 8 Ks against Muskego too. That's something to definitely be proud of there.
A lineup full of D1 talent, that's for
Yeah.
sure, over there at Muskego.
Gave up runs, but not till later. So let's see if he can keep it going today.
That one's popped in the air, center field. Hurling going back. Looks like he's underneath it. He'll make the catch, 1 down. As Shoe flies out to center field. Well, we'll be seeing Muskego on Friday against New Berlin Eisenhower. It's the battle of the Division II state champs in Division I. We'll see them on Friday at Muskego. This week it'll be Mukwonago at Oak Creek on Tuesday. It'll be Wednesday. It'll be Kenosha St. Joe's versus St. Thomas More. That's actually starting in the 3rd inning. It's going to be a resume game we'll have on the network. And then Friday is what I just mentioned.
Holy smokes, folks. We got 3 games on next week.
And we got fire coming your way as Terrence Seeger's the batter now with 1 out for Kaukauna. Up 1-0 right now. Here's the pitch. 2-0. So 2 balls, no strikes here from Franklin Field, home of the Milwaukee Milkmen. Here's the pitch in their first strike. Franklin, that sectional with Muskego. Should be probably a chance they meet a second time after last weekend. And Franklin probably wants to see him a second time.
It's definitely a game that we would keep our eye on for sure to cover.
2 balls, 1 strike, yes, for sure. That one's foul to the right side. Kaukauna in the sectional, obviously, with the Kimberly, I think the Bayport. So, that's a tough sectional as well for Kaukauna. But Kaukauna, a well-improved squad this year. Last year, double digits in losses. But this year, like I said, only 3 losses. They had a couple of good JV teams the last couple of years, so they were known they're going to be better in a couple of years. And last year, they beat Kimberly for the first time in, was it 8 years? And this year, they lost to Kimberly 2-1 in the network. That one's fouled to the back screen. So they have Kimberly again in a couple of weeks.
You think
one of their rivals they might want to see again for sure.
If I did put a bet on who's the best team in that conference right now, or in that area, Fox Valley, I think it's Hortonville for now, though, in that Fox Valley area.
Yeah. Technically, yeah, I would say Hortonville or Kimberly right now. As that one is in there, called strike 3. As Seegers goes down looking. So now Bryce Urban, the catcher, at the plate for Kaukauna. 2 down here. This top of the second. Here's the pitch. In their first strike, hits the knees. So 0-1 now on Urban. Two away in this inning. That one's ripped to left field. That's going to find the corner and down. Urban rounds first, heads to second. And he's in with, well, I should say it would have been a stand-up double, but he slid. So much needed hit for Kaukauna, and they have a runner in scoring position now to potentially tie this game for the other Urban. 2 Urbans in a row.
Sure, the brotherly love right here, question mark. See if his other brother can put him in right here.
So now Tyler Urban, the hitter.
For all I know, they could be cousins. I don't know. They're brothers, cousins. Not 100% sure on that.
Looking to tie the game. That one's in there for a strike on the outside corner. So 0-1 now. As the McCoy Luna is the pinch runner at second base for Kaukauna. That one misses outside, ball 1. 1 ball, 1 strike. Two outs now. Here's a pitch swing and a miss, strike 2. Be 2 strikes coming up here for Sanford. Urban the hitter with Luno at second. the pinch runner. Sanford looks back at second. Here's the pitch. That one's popped in the air high. Will it stay in play? No, it will not. It will go to the seats, where it will be a sold-out crowd on Friday night for Milwaukee Milkman baseball.
Opening day.
Not a sold-out crowd today, but it will be that day. So 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs on Urban.
UW Milwaukee had a school day last week, right? With the sellout crowd of students, or kids, I should say.
That was just a couple days ago, yeah. So, yeah, 2 balls, 2 strikes come up here. Here's the pitch, and that one is fouled. So Urban continues to stay alive. So remain 1 ball, 2 strikes here. So Urban steps back in. Sanford sets. Looks back at second. Here's the pitch. Luno takes over for third. That one's in the air, right field. Furley going back on it, makes the catch. Kaukauna strands one at second base. We head to the bottom of the second inning, a 2-1 lead in favor of the Franklin Sabres.
Hey, Fleet Farm fans, you asked, we listened. You wanted lower prices? You got them. In-store, online. We drop prices everywhere. Lower prices on summer favorites like Liquid Pool Shock, Griller's Gold Barbecue Pellets, and Airhead Towables. Lower prices on big-name pet care like Purina Tidy Cats. Lower prices on Valvoline Motor Oils. All because you said so. Look for the bright green price drop signs to find new lower prices on everything you need for everyday life. Only at Fleet Farm.
Looking for a place where everyone feels at home? Welcome to Point Brewery, your family-friendly tap room with something for everyone. From a wide variety of local brews to classic Point sodas for the kids, we've got the perfect pour for everyone. Craving a bite? We've got hot, cheesy Portesi pizzas ready when you are. Whether you're hanging out inside or soaking up the sun in our outdoor beer garden, there's space to unwind. Planning a celebration? Reserve our private event room and make it a gathering to remember. Point Brewery, good times, great taste, all on tap.
Back here on Zaleski Sports, bottom of the second inning here. Franklin coming to bat here with a 2-1 lead over Kaukauna. Leading off for Franklin will be Hertel. The 9-hole hitter before we get back to the beginning lineup for Franklin. Swing and a miss, strike 1. Oh, the pitch. That one's on the ground to the pitcher. He'll throw on the first in time as Geithner throws that one out. And 1 down after 2 pitches. That'll be Nick Furley, the right fielder. 1 for 1 today. He's a speed threat as well on base. Here's a pitch. That one misses outside, ball 1. So 1 ball, no strikes. Here's the pitch. Hits the outside corner. So 1-1 now. Here's the pitch. High and away, 2 balls, 1 strike. Seems Geithner, we're all going from the motions. Pitch to pitch. So here's the 2-1 on Furley. He lines that one to second. Kress on to first in time. 2 outs. After the first inning, we had a lot of base runners on base. We got quickly 2 outs. You notice the same thing from Kaukauna besides the 2-out double. So now Bennett Schuler, the hitter. He's 1 for 1 as well today.
I think Kaukauna kind of got robbed from their their last game or their last time down here when they got to play Muskego. It's unfortunate that they had tornadoes come through here.
Yeah. Yeah, that was they started in the second inning. They couldn't quite get it done, but that one, meanwhile, is ripped to the right center gap.
That's
as
three.
Schuler turns first, heads to second.
Maybe. No.
And he's going to try for third. The throw coming in at third is going to be in time to get him. Schuler tried to break it in. He'll be scored a double, but thrown on a third base. What a relay from Schaefer to Jenkins.
He's all right, though. He's still on the ground. Maybe just slipped a little bit there.
Schaefer to Jenkins to Urban to get him out at third. What a throw. As we head to the top of the third, it's still 2-1 Franklin.
Join us for Marshfield's Dairy Fest. Say cheese! Kick things off on Friday, May 29th with the Mayor's Breakfast from 5:30 to 9:30 a.m. Then at 5 p.m., head to Columbia Park for a night of family-friendly entertainment, including the play, Winnie the Pooh, and Friends. The fun continues on Saturday, May 30th with the parade at 11 a.m. Afterward, make your way to Wenzel Family Plaza for more activities. Be sure to explore the craft show at Chestnut and West 3rd Street, and while you're there, stop by the Pie and Ice Cream Social at the Upham Mansion. Wrap up the day at the Outdoor Beer Garden, hosted by Nuts Deep 2, featuring live music. For more information, go to visitmarshfield.com.
Hey, Fleet Farm fans, you asked, we listened. You wanted lower prices, you got them. In-store, online, we drop prices everywhere. Lower prices on summer favorites like Liquid Pool Shock, Griller's Gold Barbecue Pellets, and Airhead Towables. Lower prices on big-name pet care like Purina Tidy Cats. Lower prices on Valvoline motor oils. All because you said so. Look for the bright green price drop signs to find new lower prices on everything you need for everyday life. Only at Fleet Farm.
Back here on Zaleski Sports. Top of the third inning for Kaukauna. Braun Schaefer will lead us off. But still, what a relay to end the last inning. From center field to short to third to get Schuler from stretching into a triple. So now Braun Schaefer will lead us off here. Kaukauna decides a 2-out double. Pretty quiet last inning, but it had a busy first inning. We'll see what they can do this inning. Sanford remains the pitcher for Franklin. Here's the pitch. That one's bunted away to third base. Frazier picks up, gets by him. And Franklin had nobody covering second. They get somebody over there, and Schaefer wasn't really looking. If he would have been looking, he probably could have took second base there.
I think Frazier was trying to think that was foul too, or like he was trying to like hope it try to. Because if it goes foul right before it hits the bag, it is, right?
Yes. But never ended up going foul, and he kind of like
that one like sliced even more farther fair.
So Schaefer on. Now it's going to be Caden Kress at the plate.
Kind of surprised Frazier a little bit, right? He wasn't playing that far back.
Yeah.
Or far in, I should say.
Schaefer takes his lead at first. That one's ripped to the back screen foul.
First pitch, too. He went right to it.
Yeah, wasted no time. He pulled out the bunt, and it's worked.
It's as perfect as he could get with the bunt right there.
I think it's the second time Kaukauna's bunted today, so. Yeah, it is, and it's second successful time as well. Here's the pitch from Sanford inside, ball one. So 1 ball, 1 strike here on Caden Kress as Schaefer takes his lead at first. Here's the pitch. That one's on the ground to third. Frazier on to second to Hertel. On to first. He take him out. And I think it's going to be in a double play automatically. Yes, they will. It'll be an interference double play.
And now
they're going to say that he took out the second baseman, Hertel, and therefore it's going to be a double play, as that's against the rules, the new collision rule at second base in the MLB.
Everyone at Kaukauna's dugout is
putting
their arms out like what?
Mike Jenkins, the head coach of Kaukauna, talking with the umpires. I don't know. I think, personally, the rule shows I think it's probably the right call as he took out the second baseman as he still had a play. So
that's why that ball kind of like took a dip right away, right?
Yeah. As Hertel kind of jumping around as he was.
Is Mike Jenkins trying to appeal this, or is he just getting an explanation
I think
from
he's
them?
trying to appeal it. I mean, he took out the second baseman.
That's usually the rule, though, right? When you take out the second baseman.
Yeah, there's still and even if there's no play at first, I think it's the rule. But there was definitely a play at first that they didn't take him out. Because I mean, I think Hertel probably could have went and thrown him out at first. Still, that's why it was called. So it'll be a double play ruling, even though the ball never got to first base. So here's the pitch. Low ball 1. Jenkins now. It's going to be Braden Jenkins, the hitter. Either way, one of the coaches would have been talking to the umpires after that play. Because if they wouldn't have called double play, I'm sure Steve Drobot would have been out. 2 balls, no strikes on Jenkins. Pitch is in there for a strike, hits the inside corner. So 2-1 coming up. Here's the pitch, in there for a strike. So 2 balls, 2 strikes now. So 2-2 coming up on Jenkins. Here's the pitch, low in the dirt, ball 3.
You could hear that. Was it? Kaukana's got 26 guys on their roster. You could definitely hear their presence today in their dugout.
That's for sure.
Both teams like to bring the energy to help their team try to get some base runners, as that one just spikes in the dirt.
Yeah, so ball 4, Jenkins is aboard. So now the batter will be Gussman. That one's in there for an outside pitch for a strike. So 0-1 now on Gussman. Sanford looks in on 0-1. Here's the pitch. Misses outside, ball 1. So 1 ball, 1 strike as Jenkins takes his lead at first base. Looks over, here's the pitch, and that one's swinging a miss, strike 2. So 1 ball, 2 strikes coming up here. Jenkins at first. Gussman looking to extend the inning here. Sanford looking to get out of it here. 1 ball, 2 strikes. 2 outs. Here's the pitch. Misses outside, ball 2. So what a crazy inning between that interference double play call at second base. That hurt Kaukauna, taking out the second baseman. That one's on the ground to the pitcher. Sanford, he'll throw on to first and high and away. It's going to... Just couldn't get that one down. It'll be safe and most likely score an error as Gussman reaches. Yeah, we've seen that once or twice happen this year where it looked like it was an easy play at first base. We saw that last week with Racine Lutheran Prairie and Kenosha St. Joseph. Looked like an easy throw to first base. Sometimes gets botched. So now Blake Vandaloo at the plate with 2 runners on. Both runners takes their leads. Here's the pitch, high, ball 1. Jenkins on second, Gussman at first. 2 outs. Here's the pitch. In there for a strike. I should bring that up. The last play was scored error. Probably be an error on the pitcher, Sanford. One ball, one strike. Here's the pitch. And hits the outside corner, strike 2.
That was a really good frame right there from Nass, though.
Kaukauna fans didn't like that one.
Get it through.
So 1 ball, 2 strikes now.
People don't know how much of the call depends on how good the catcher frames it, too, right?
Yeah, that's for sure. Here's the pitch. 1-2 and outside in the other batter box. 2 balls, 2 strikes now.
It's kind of like Kaukauna's first time threatening since the first inning. So
they seem to threaten with that top of the order both times today so far. So 2 balls, 2 strikes here from Sanford. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Kaukauna strands 2. We head to the bottom of the 3rd inning. 2-1 Franklin still.
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 180,000 participants here in Wisconsin who take part in high school sports.
From humble beginnings in 1904, the Wheatrick family has grown Grassland Dairy Products into one of the largest processors of butter in the nation. Based in Greenwood, Wisconsin, the family and its hundreds of employees continue their pursuit of providing high-quality products that can proudly be served in restaurants and homes across America.
Back here on Zaleski Sports, bottom of the 3rd inning. Matt Peck, Elijah Vink here for Franklin Kaukauna, 2-1. As Dominic Walters will lead us off for the bottom of the 3rd. It's been a close game early on here. Both teams have had their threatening measures. Kaukauna last inning couldn't get anything home. His first pitch was a ball, as swing and a miss, strike 1. So 1 ball, 1 strike. That one's popped up in the air high. It looks like it'll stay in play to the first baseman, Seegers. He'll make the catch, 1 down. So one out. Nass, the catcher, will be up at the plate now. Here's the pitch. Falls in there for a strike. 0-1. Here's the pitch. That one spikes the dirt. Ball 1. So 1 ball, 1 strike. Pitches, hits the outside. Strike 2. So 1 ball, 2 strikes on Nass. Here's the pitch, and that one's popped in the air. Going to the right side. Seegers, looks like he'll have a play again, and it's caught. So both hits this inning pops in foul territory to Seegers. Make it easy for him over there, so 2 down. So now the batter will be Carter Schwingle. Takes in their first strike. 0-1 on Schwingle. That one's popped up in the air. Right side. And foul. You thought for a second that all 3 outs would have been popped up to the first baseman, Seegers.
It's kind of been like the jam the last couple innings, right, with both these teams. Both of them, all the runs have came in the first inning, right? So.
Yeah, I was going to say, if that happened, which it still could happen, I've probably never seen that before. 3 foul pop-ups to the same guy to get through the inning. That'd be quite impressive. Here's the pitch, and misses outside, ball 1. So 1 ball, 2 strikes now on Schwingle.
Got to give it up for Geithner so far, though, kind of dialing it in after the first inning.
1-2, and it spikes in the dirt, ball 2. So 2 balls, 2 strikes coming up. So 2-2. Here's the pitch. That one's popped up in the air and hits the roof of the press box. Hope you have good insurance. So 2 balls, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch, and low in the dirt, ball 3.
Full count now. Kind of doing a really good job working it right back.
So 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Schwingle the hitter. Here's the pitch, and that one's fouled again. Geithner looking for another out here. Gotten 2 of them so far this inning, courtesy of his first baseman, Seegers. Here's the pitch, and misses low, ball 4. And Schwingle will walk. Kaukauna yet to have a clean inning so far today. Although we've only played 3, so. Throws back to first, not in time. So 2 away. Bombi in the hitter. Takes outside, ball 1. So 1 ball, no strikes as Schwingle takes his lead over there at first. Swing and a miss, strike 1. Here's a pitch. Misses outside, 2-1. Franklin working Geithner's pitch count a little bit here. To 53 here through 3. 3rd inning still not complete yet. Here's the pitch. That one is lined to right field. Gussman, he will make the catch on the liner. Franklin strands 1. We head to the 4th. Still a 2-1 lead for the Sabres. More baseball after this on Zaleski Sports.
My grandparents worked so hard their whole life to keep things nice. You want to make sure that you're getting the job done correctly. At no point did I feel like I wasn't being handled by professionals. They were literally taking it on a surgical level, it seemed. Like they were very, very thorough on every step. I feel like Infinity treated my family with the same respect they would have treated their own. I feel like my house is brand new again.
Hey, Fleet Farm fans, you asked, we listened. You wanted lower prices? You got them. In-store, online. We drop prices everywhere. Lower prices on summer favorites like Liquid Pool Shock, Griller's Gold Barbecue Pellets, and Airhead Towables. Lower prices on big-name pet care like Purina Tidy Cats. Lower prices on Valvoline motor oils. All because you said so. Look for the bright green price drop signs to find new lower prices on everything you need for everyday life. Only at Fleet Farm.
Back here on Zaleski Sports, top of the 4th inning. Kaukauna batting, trailing 2-1 here.
Got a pitcher's duel here, Matt Peck.
Yes, we do. So 1-0. The first pitch was on Shu, and that one's in their first strike. Paxton Shu, the hitter for the Galloping Ghosts.
Guy's driving an ATV out there in the outfield. Just didn't happen to notice that.
That one hits Shu right in the leg. And he wore that one like a champ as he's aboard.
Yeah, that's going to stink too, because that looked like that hit either. That looked close to the knee almost, so that was trouble.
So now the batter will be Taryn Seegers.
Sanford up to 41 pitches now. Pitched the last 2 innings.
Here's a pitch. Seegers shows bunt, which Kaukauna does well.
Now this time Frazier was definitely ready for it, though. Back then, he was playing all the way back to almost the outfield dirt or grass.
If you can bunt in high school, that's a huge key.
I'm sure they work on that a lot in practice, too.
Oh, yeah, and he's going to show bunt again. Here comes Frazier from the corner.
What if he pulls back, though?
Seegers puts it down, but foul, so it'll be 0-2. Do they trust him enough to bunt on 2 strikes? We'll see.
I feel like it's possible at times that, it depends on how slow your runner is at first. I still turn 2 on a bunt, depending on how far in and on time the infielders get in to try to field the bunt.
Yeah, so 0-2 coming up here on Seegers. Shu at first. He takes his lead. Here's the pitch, and that one is foul to the right side off the end of the bat.
Third base is really like the only position that could really far come in, though.
Sanford looks over there at first as Shu takes his lead. Here's the pitch, and called strike 3. As Seegers goes down looking, 1 down here for Shu. No, excuse me, Shu's at first base. So now it'll be Bryce Urban, who's 1 for 1 today.
Kaukauna needs those bats to wake up a little bit right now, so top of the order for sure coming up next inning, but I'm sure they want to try. Coach Shankins wants to try to get those guys up this inning with a couple guys hopefully on base for them.
As Sanford takes a look at first base. Here's the pitch, high, ball 1. So 1-0 now, 1 out. Shu takes his lead at first. Here's the pitch. That one's popped up in the air, but we'll go over our heads. So 1 ball, 1 strike. So 1-1 now on Urban. Time is called.
Kind of looking around at the facility here at Franklin Field, I almost wish they host a sectional here.
Yeah, someday they might.
Probably be Franklin would technically be the school host, right?
Yeah. Shu takes his lead, and that one's swing and a miss, strike 2.
And you look around the third base line, you got all those picnic tables, the regular tables too. Perfect time to come out for a ball game in the summer. Recommend you guys to check out the Milwaukee Milkmen too if you're in the area.
Absolutely. 1 ball, 2 strikes coming back here on Urban. Shu takes his lead at first. Sanford looks at first. Here's the pitch, and just misses inside. 2 balls, 2 strikes. So 2-2 coming back now. 1 out, 2 in this inning as Urban, the hitter, 1 for 1, like I mentioned before. Here's the pitch, foul to the back screen. Urban had that 2-out double earlier in the top of the 2nd inning. with 2 outs as well.
Just happened to take a glance at that first base line in the Kaukauna bullpen. There was a guy just getting done warming up, so that could be the end of the day, but not 100% on it for Geithner after the 4th. Or the 3rd, I should say. Yeah.
Urban continues to stay alive. Here's the pitch. That one is foul to the left side. And like I said, we could name that tune, put on the Staying Alive song.
Yeah. Well, I keep thinking that's a song. No, remember that's. Were you messing with me?
Yeah. Yeah, that's a perfect jam. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Here's the pitch, and he hits that one off the end of the bat. A chance for
only for 1.
They're only going to go to 1. That's Hurdle on to first in time.
I think they had hit and run going there.
Yeah, so Shu moves up to second. As Urban grounds out. So now it'll be Tyler Urban, sorry.
Other brother.
I don't think there is a Kyle Urban. I thought the way the PA announcer said, I thought he said Kyle. But it's Tyler. Here's the pitch in their first strike. Shu at second, looking to get home here, 180 more feet. Urban 0 for 1 today. He had a fielder's choice. An out earlier. I believe he flew out earlier. Here's the pitch. That one's on the ground at first. And take it to the base in time. We head to the bottom of the 4th. Franklin still with a 2-1 lead here on Zaleski Sports.
What rhymes with great?
Participate.
Where does greatness start? Here, in the classroom. On the diamond.
In the pool. On the field. Where will your greatness take you?
To better grades.
To more friends.
Yeah!
Be great.
Participate!
We're back with Better Halves. Jane is looking for a better health plan. Jane?
I need someone who'll make time for me. So, how would you two get to know me?
You want time? I'll keep you on hold all night long.
He sounds gross.
Jane, I'm Steve from security. I won't treat you like a number. I've got award-winning service and coverage made just for you.
Now that's better. Next up, networks.
Back here on Zaleski Sports. Bottom of the 4th inning here. Franklin with the 2-1 lead. Matt Peck, Elijah Vincelata here on the network. That pitch taken outside, strike 1. The batter is Dylan Hurling, 1 for 1 today. He swings and misses, strike 2.
I got the quick score update here. Whitefish Bay trailing to Waterford 3-2 right now in a game around the area.
So 0-2, taken, called, strike 3. As Geithner gets another strikeout. That will be Geithner's second of the day. So now that will send up Carter Frazier.
It's kind of surprising that seeing Waterford taking a stand right now on the Whitefish Bay Blue Dukes.
That is a surprise over there in Whitefish Bay for sure.
They're kind of in like the middle stages of the game like we are here as well.
1 ball, no strikes. That one's ripped to the pitcher. Geithner, he'll take on the first in time. He threw that over like it was, like he did that in his sleep. That's basically what he did.
Like no reaction when he fielded that ball. He's got to double check to see if he's Spider-Man now because he didn't even have to move right there.
So now Hertel, the batter, swinging a miss, strike one.
This has a chance to be a really quick inning for Geithner, who's only at about 60 pitches now after that one.
And if you're Kaukauna, you probably want to get out of this here with Hertel before you go to the top of the lineup. Pitches in there for a strike. 0-2 now.
He's not messing around either. He's throwing all strikes so far.
Oh, 2 now on Hertel. Spikes in the dirt, ball one. That one was spiked well before home plate even. So it'll be 1 ball, 2 strikes. Franklin, like I mentioned, undefeated in their conference. 1 ball, 2 strikes, and that one's on the ground to second. Kress will go on to first in time. 3 up, 3 down for the Kaukauna Galloping Ghost. We head to the top of the 5th. Still 2-1 Franklin.
Good day. My name is Ken Hyman, and welcome to Nasonville Dairy here in central Wisconsin, Marshfield, Wisconsin, as a matter of fact. We make a lot of different cheeses. We make cheddar, Colby, Monterey, Farmer's Cheese, Peach Cheese, Quesa Blanca, Quesa de Fear, Seco, Parm, Romano, Asiago, Fontina, Feta Caseri, Caflateri, Cafla Graviera, 20 different flavors of Monterey, as well as making Edam, Gouda, and Munster. And the cheese be with you.
Hey, you're tuned in to Better Halves.
Skip, I love my hometown, and I want a health plan that feels the same way. So, what are your favorite local date spots?
Oh, yeah, I know like all the date spots in Eclair.
Jane, I'm Steve from security. I've lived here in Wisconsin my whole life, and that means I understand your health coverage needs better.
By the way, Doug, it's Eau Claire. I have a dozen Eclairs in my dressing room.
Back here on Zaleski Sports, top of the 5th between Kaukauna and Franklin. Mind you, today's game is sponsored by Marshfield Dairy Fest. Say cheese! On Friday, May 29th, and Saturday, May 30th. Enjoy the Mayor's Breakfast Parade and live music at Nuts Deep 2. For more info, go to marshfield.com. Visit marshfield.com, sorry. First pitch misses, ball one. Yeah, we've been to Nuts Deep before for that Zaleski Sports
Was
Christmas
that
party.
Nuts Deep 2, though, or that we went to?
Yeah, I think it was. All I know is we couldn't find our party. It was waiting in the back of the restaurant. That one's on the ground to second. Hertel on to first. And just in time to get him. Ooh.
And he just
Schaefer really ran down that line.
I think he beat him by just half a step right there.
Well, and Kaukauna's on the phone looking to see if they should challenge it. Kaukauna's on the phone to see if they should challenge it.
Tap your head. We saw that a lot last night. Me and you and another friend took a trip to the game last night.
Ball one outside.
Aaron Judge.
Caden Kress, the batter. Here's the pitch. Low, and does it end up hitting him on the spike? No, it doesn't. 2-0 now on Kress. Here's the pitch. That one's in the air. Center field. Hurling calls for it. He'll make the catch. 2 down.
Both these teams just continue to stay quiet after that first inning of a combined 3 runs. It's been a pitcher's duel ever since.
So now the batter will be Braden Jenkins. Here's the pitch, misses outside, ball one.
3 2/3 so far for Prescott Sanford, coming in for Bennett Schuler after the first inning. 2 hits, 1 walk, 3 Ks for Sanford.
That one is grounded foul. 1 ball, 1 strike. Yeah, he's Sanford, like you said, we had Schuler do the opening role, and then Sanford just came in and pitched sense.
Kind of a different outcome so far of how that game happened last Saturday when they were at Muskego.
So 1 ball, 1 strike. Here's the pitch high, 2-1.
You got to give that credit to Geithner too as well, though. I mean, first inning, gave up those first 2 runs. And ever since, it's been all nails for him in that on the mound.
So that one's low, spiked in the dirt, 3-1 now.
I think Sanford wants to challenge him right here, but you still got to be careful at the same time if you get a hanger down the middle or something here.
Yeah, you're looking at the top of the order.
Take a charge in the
Kaukauna.
ball. 3-hole hitter right now.
Here's the pitch, and that one's on the ground to short. Bombian throws across the diamond on to first, and in time to get him. So Franklin goes 3 of 3 down in the field. Now we head to the bottom of the 5th inning. Still 2-1 Sabres.
At Ridgestop Exteriors, we're more than your average home improvement company. We're your neighbors, and for over 20 years, we've been trusted and proudly serving right here in your community. Customer service is our #1 goal. Call now for your free estimate.
Ridgetop Exteriors.
Coaches teach your kids to dream. Coaches teach your kids to overcome. Coaches teach your kids good sportsmanship. Coaches teach your kids proper technique. But who teaches your coaches?
Back here on Zaleski Sports. Bottom of the 5th inning between Kaukauna and Franklin. Today's game is sponsored by Prospect Training Academy. At Prospect Training Academy, we train to develop and create leaders on and off the field. We teach our players to be prepared, tough, and accountable. We also focus on the importance of academics and character. We play for the name on the front and the teammates around us. Sign up today at ptabaseball.com. Bottom of the 5th inning here, Franklin with a 2-1 lead.
Top of the order.
And top of the order up as well.
Furley.
And it's both runs came in the first inning for both teams. Others since the first inning, nothing. Pitches away, 2-0.
He kind of got messed up. What does that usually mean? Just putting
He's putting his finger out, like saying,
yeah.
"Oh, 2 balls, no strikes." And now Furley's going to show bunt, and he takes strike 1. Geithner's still the pitcher for Kaukauna.
Furley just checking there to see if he was going to throw another ball, try to challenge him there.
So 2 balls, 1 strike. Misses outside, now 3-1. So 3 balls, 1 strike. Furley the hitter. Here's the pitch. That one's in the air. Left center field. Schaefer coming over. He'll make the catch. 1 down. Both teams playing on thin ice from a mistake today, though, keep in mind. It's only a 1-run game. A mistake could cost Franklin their lead. A mistake could also let Kaukauna get further behind than they are now.
I don't remember the last time Franklin had, or both these teams had guys on the corners even too, right?
Yeah.
They both had him in the first inning. Franklin even had the bases loaded in the first. It's been quiet ever since.
Pitch is in their first strike.
Bennett Schuler at the plate right now.
Bennett Schuler the hitter. 2 for 2 today. So 0-1 on Schuler. Lows in the dirt.
I think they'll score a double even though he was out on third on
Yes.
the amazing relay. Amazing call by Mr. Peck.
Yeah, Schaefer to Jenkins on the relay. Over to Urban at third. That was back in, I think, the third or second. Pitches outside, 2-1.
This is kind of a different approach right here for Franklin today. It's usually a team that scores a lot of runs.
2 balls, 1 strike, in there for a strike.
More notably, in their non-conference games, they're not scoring too many runs. They scored 6, though, against Muskego, which is pretty good. 13 against Burlington.
Here's the pitch, high, ball 3.
And this is a pretty good at bat right here for Bennett Schuler to try to work the pitch count of Geithner, who's up to 73 pitches now. Geithner's done everything he can to keep this a 1-run game.
So 3-2 now on Schuler, and he'll take ball 4. Everybody was like looking over at first. I'm like, did I have the count wrong? So now Dominic Walters will be the hitter. With Schuler at first.
Really good at bat.
Wouldn't be surprised if Drobot decides to send Schuler at some point, to get a runner in scoring position. It's a 2-1 lead for the Sabres here in the bottom of the 5th.
So Franklin's got some action going in their bullpen as well. Schultz warming up. Potential save situation maybe.
Schuler takes his lead at first. Here's the pitch. Low, ball 1.
We'll see if Sanford comes out for the top of the 6th inning. He's up to 64 pitches so far.
So Schuler takes his lead over at first. Walters lines that one in the air. Center field. Schaefer going back. He'll make the catch.
Wow, what a catch.
Kaukauna's outfield has done a really good job today. And Schuler has to retreat back to first, so 2 down.
Tabernas,
the batter now. The catcher. Here comes Steve Drobot. Talk to the umpire about something.
I think part of the reason why this outfield's been doing so good is that they're not just walking straight back. Because you say it as often, right? You teach the outfielders to like sidetrack your way back, right?
Always start out back unless you know that ball is noticeably going to be short. It's because you always want to have your momentum going back just in case that ball is going over your head.
I feel like if you're just like doing like a straight backwards run, you're gonna fall.
Well, yeah, you gotta go run to the side because otherwise you backpedal, you'll trip right over your feet and tangle yourself up.
And that's easily a double or triple for especially if you have a speedy guy in the bags.
Yeah, so Nass takes low, ball 1. So 1 ball, no strikes. Schuler takes his lead at first. Here's the pitch. Low, 2-0.
Still no action up in that bullpen for Kaukauna. Coach Jenkins gonna probably let it ride right here. Just 1 more out needed for Geithner.
2 balls, no strikes. That one's ripped in the air, right field. Gussman coming over. He'll track it down and we'll make the catch right in front of the wall. We head to the 6th. Like I said, still 2-1 in favor of the Sabres. No runs have scored since the first inning. We'll play on here through 5 complete.
Join us for Marshfield's Dairy Fest. Say cheese! Kick things off on Friday, May 29th with the Mayor's Breakfast from 5:30 to 9:30 a.m. Then at 5 p.m., head to Columbia Park for a night of family-friendly entertainment, including the play, Winnie the Pooh, and Friends. The fun continues on Saturday, May 30th with the parade at 11 a.m. Afterward, make your way to Wenzel Family Plaza for more activities. Be sure to explore the craft show at Chestnut and West 3rd Street, and while you're there, stop by the Pie and Ice Cream Social at the Upham Mansion. Wrap up the day at the Outdoor Beer Garden, hosted by Nuts Deep 2, featuring live music. For more information, go to visitmarshfield.com.
Hey, Fleet Farm fans, you asked, we listened. You wanted lower prices? You got them. In-store, online. We drop prices everywhere. Lower prices on summer favorites like Liquid Pool Shock, Griller's Gold Barbecue Pellets, and Airhead Towables. Lower prices on big-name pet care like Purina Tidy Cats. Lower prices on Valvoline Motor Oils. All because you said so. Look for the bright green price drop signs to find new lower prices on everything you need for everyday life. Only at Fleet Farm.
Back here on Zaleski Sports, top of the 6th. Still 2-1 in favor of Franklin. Like I said, no runs scored since the first inning for both teams. Here's the pitch. That one's on the ground to second. Hurling on to first in time. Kind of hit off the end of the bat that time. Sorry, Hertel. It's that second. Hurling's in center. My game changer didn't quite load up. Pitch is low for ball 1. Vandaloo, the batter now for Kaukauna. He's 0 for 2 today. Pitch is in their first strike, so 1-1. Pitch missed low, ball 2. So 2 balls, 1 strike. Here's the pitch, low. Oh, strike 2. Where they hit the dirt. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch, swing, and a miss. Strike 3 on the foul tip.
Isn't it Wait, I'm a little confused on that though. Isn't it supposed to like be in the glove though, or?
Well, it foul tipped into his glove.
Oh.
So foul tip, strike 3.
It looked like it foul tipped his chest, but I might have been wrong in that.
So now Paxton Shue, the hitter, 0 for 1 today with a walk. I should say he got hit by a pitch earlier. That one's ripped to left field, and we'll get down to the gap. Shue rounds first, and it will be a ground rule double as that one bounces over the wall. And Kaukauna in business with 2 down.
Franklin has Schultz up in the bullpen again just in case. Trey Schultz, the righty. But this is a chance right here. This has got to be the first time in a while that Kaukauna's had a guy in scoring position. And I think we got a pinch hitter now, too.
It's going to be Riker Donnermeyer, the pinch hitter, for Seegers, the first baseman. So
the kind of a climax right now. See what happens here in this at-bat.
Yeah, so Shue at second base. Here's the pitch. Outside, strike 1.
Anything in the gap for sure scores Shue.
Kaukauna looking for their second run of the day.
And look at this! Look at that lead.
He's gonna take step off. He's gonna throw to second, and they're gonna call a balk.
And Drobot's coming out to try to maybe get an explanation here and maybe appeal this.
So if there would have been no block there, Kaukauna would have lost their opportunity. And no explanation from the Sabres. They must agree with the call. Or Drobot's coming now, or the pitching coach coming now.
I tell you what, though, that was a huge lead out there for Shue.
He stepped off, saw the lead. He would have had him out, but a balk was called.
I think this is just a meeting on the mound.
Yep, so it'll be 1 strike when we come back, 0-1.
Although Trey Schultz done throwing in the bullpen, so we'll see. Drobot's not coming out, though, so they're going to leave it as is. Actually, he's just warming up to throw now, so I think no matter what, the rest of this inning goes to Sanford. He's playing catch right now.
So 0-1 now on Donnermeyer. He's got a runner in third, 90 feet away from tying this game.
Now anything, even a hard liner right here on the ground, obviously.
Here's the pitch, swing and a miss, strike 2.
Now he's 1 strike away from getting out of it. This is for sure the biggest pitch of the game right here.
And keep in mind, Kaukauna is in the lower end of their order, so if Franklin gets
order.
out of this, they'll face the top order in the 7th. So Donnermeyer at the plate, down 0-2. Here's the pitch, and high, ball 1.
Good use it or lose it pitch right there from Sanford.
So 1 ball, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch from Sanford. And low inside, 2-2. Almost hit Donnermeyer.
And with the way this game's going, too, if they get a run here, Kaukauna is like in a really good spot to try to take the momentum their way. Their pitching has been lights out, too, on Kaukauna's side.
So 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Sanford looks in. Here's the pitch. And that one's popped in the air, right field. Furley going over. He has a play on it, and he'll make the catch. And Franklin, once again, gets out of it. Kaukauna strands a runner. We head to the bottom of the 6th inning. Still 2-1 Franklin.
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends. How to fit in. How to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 180,000 participants here in Wisconsin who take part in high school sports.
From humble beginnings in 1904, the Wheatrick family has grown Grassland Dairy Products into one of the largest processors of butter in the nation. Based in Greenwood, Wisconsin, the family and its hundreds of employees continue their pursuit of providing high-quality products that can proudly be served in restaurants and homes across America.
Take the under on hits today.
Back here on Zaleski Sports, Matt Peck, Elijah Vincelata here from Franklin Field, home of the Milwaukee Milkmen. 2-1 lead for Franklin. It's been that since the 1st inning. It seems like we haven't had a pitcher's duel yet this year. It's been always run-scoring machine games.
Well, we got to keep in mind, Franklin had an opener, right? They had Bennett Schuler open it up the 1st inning, only gave up 1 run, and then 5 straight innings of shutout ball.
And that one's lined to center field. That's a base hit.
Oh, that's going to
get by.
That's 3, easily.
That's at least 3. As he turns his second, heads to third, the throw not in time. As
I would almost consider that an error too, right?
Yeah.
Kind of like bobbled in and went past the center fielder Schaefer. So it's a leadoff triple for Schwingle. Can't imagine too how big of a insurance run this would be for Franklin, given how good they pitched on the mound today.
Yeah, that's for sure. So now Schwingle on with a leadoff triple. Now Bombian at the plate, and he lines that one to left field. Slicing, foul, almost in the Zern deck.
I think if he catches that scores Schwingle easily though.
Yeah.
So that maybe he let that go on purpose, but you didn't want to pull. He didn't want to pull what happened with Brandon Lockridge last night in that Brewers game though.
Yeah, that's for sure. So 0-1 now. Bombian pops that one up. Could be a break for Kaukauna as Jenkins goes over and calls as a shortstop makes the catch. That wind kind of took a draft on him at the last minute. So 1 down for the Kaukauna defense.
Wow, that ball was slicing. Dylan Hurling is at the plate now.
So Dylan Hurling, the hitter, will come up 1 for 2 today. Had a single back in the bottom of the first. Here's the pitch, swing and a miss, strike one. So 0-1 on Hurling. Here's the pitch and curves down for a strike. So 0-2.
Gotta give that credit once again to Geithner. That's still their starting pitcher in this game. 83 pitches, still nobody loosening up either.
Here's the pitch, swing and a miss, strike three. And after a leadoff triple for Franklin, Kaukauna is 1 out away from keeping this a 2-1 game.
This has been some performance today from him. Franklin usually a team, too, that scores a lot of runs no matter who they play.
So now Carter Frazier, the hitter, 0 for 2 today, takes strike one.
And Geithner still got pitches to use, too, so if somehow they get this into the 7th, we'll see if, I mean, it depends on how long this at-bat goes and if they score here.
Swing and a miss, strike two. That one gets away. Ooh, Schwingle thought about it.
Only 3 strikeouts for Geithner, but a few of them coming at a big time right now.
So now 0-2 now on Frazier. Here's the pitch, and foul. Just got a piece of that to the back screen off the end of the bat.
This has been something today, too. Both these teams. Franklin's only struck out 3 times at the plate today, so they've been putting the bat on the barrel, or the ball in the barrel.
Kaukana's played some good defense, too. Here's a pitch, low, spikes in the dirt, ball one. Nice block back there by the catcher, Urban.
Prevented the run here, but with how good these two teams have been pitching, if Franklin could get that 90 feet away in, they're in a really good spot.
1 ball, 2 strikes. That was lined up the middle to second base. Nice play. No, gets through. Base hit by Kress. Almost had a backhand on it. And Schwingle comes home to score as Franklin gives themselves back to a 3-1 lead.
That's huge.
That's a huge insurance run. Kress almost had a play, and it kind of bobbled and got through him. I thought he had his glove on it. That's why I said nice play at first, because it looked like he had his glove on it.
So now
just snuck past him. Hertel the batter.
You go into the top of the 7th with at least a 2-run lead now.
Here's the pitch. Low, ball one. So 1-0 now on Hertel, and he lines that one to the pitcher. Back to first in time.
Casually again.
Yeah. So Geithner, 6 innings complete, gives up a run. So now a 3-1 Franklin lead. We head to the 7th inning. Last chance for Kaukauna after this on Zaleski Sports.
From humble beginnings in 1904, the Wheatrick family has grown Grassland Dairy Products into one of the largest processors of butter in the nation. Based in Greenwood, Wisconsin, the family and its hundreds of employees continue their pursuit of providing high-quality products that can proudly be served in restaurants and homes across America.
My grandparents worked so hard their whole life to keep things nice. You want to make sure that you're getting the job done correctly. At no point did I feel like I wasn't being handled by professionals. They were literally taking it on a surgical level, it seemed. Like they were very, very thorough on every step. I feel like Infinity treated my family with the same respect they would have treated their own. I feel like my house is brand new again.
Top of the 7th here on Zaleski Sports between Kaukauna and Franklin. Kaukauna trails by 2 runs now, looking for a last chance opportunity here in the top of the 7th. Here's the pitch. That one's on the ground. Through, base hit. Camley, the new pitcher for Franklin. But Bryce Urban leads off the inning with a base hit.
Let's see if brother can do it now.
So now Tyler Urban up to the plate.
Man, they did that so fast I didn't even have time to put the name in.
So Urban takes his lead over there at first. Now a chance for another Urban to come through. Pitches outside, ball 1.
Should be an interesting one for sure. It's a tough 3 outs to get. That's why these closers have the hardest job in the sport.
Pitch misses outside, 2-0. Ladies and gentlemen, whenever the game ends, stay with us. Nasonville Dairy postgame show. Interview with winning head coach and the player.
Both coaches are familiar with that.
Yeah, that one's on the ground. Through, base hit to right field. Urban aboard. Luno, the pinch runner, moves to second, and Kaukauna has saved their hitting for the 7th inning.
I think if you're Franklin, you go mound visit here in any minute now, because now the go-ahead run comes to the plate.
So now Braun Schaefer, 2 for 3 today, a dangerous hitter at the plate for Kaukauna.
The top of the order now, right?
Yes.
Just in time. So the Urbans have done their job. Back-to-back base hits.
Here's the pitch, and low in the dirt, ball 1. And time is called by the catcher Nass. He'll go talk with the pitcher Camley.
I like this mound visit right here. Just try to compose him a little bit here. Had Urban in a 2-0 hole in that second at bat, and already Tyson Schultz, getting back up in that bullpen for Franklin. Was warming up earlier, double barrel action. They went with Camley. Trey Schultz, I should say.
Franklin is thanking themselves now for their insurance run this inning for sure now.
They got to be careful now because the tying run is at first and the go-ahead at home.
Yeah, Schaefer takes strike 1. So
double play would go a long way here if you're Franklin, though.
1 ball, 1 strike. Here's the pitch. That one's on the ground to
They're
short.
Get just
a
that.
chance for a double play. Bombian on to first. And not in time. They'll get 1. Luno moves up to third. Schaefer will reach. And they'll get 1 out on the play. Kaukauna 90 feet away from breaking this game in half. So now it'll be Caden Kress at the plate. Kress takes outside, ball 1. Schaefer grounded in a fielder's choice. Give Franklin their first out. Couldn't quite turn 2 from the speedy Braun Schaefer.
It's definitely a huge first out.
Here's the pitch. That one's in the air, left field. Playable for Walters. He'll make the catch. Throw coming in. Will be cut off by the shortstop Bombian, and Kaukauna gets the second run of the game, and 2 down for the Franklin defense.
It's huge 2 outs right there. Sure, Franklin's going to want that tough double play, but that's just the speed from Schaefer early on.
So 2 down now for this Franklin defense. Now we'll bring up Jenkins. Braden Jenkins, the hitter. Runner on first. That one's inside. Ball 1. Schaefer has speed, so you put something in the gap here that Kaukauna could tie the game.
Homer could give him the lead if he has the power surge in him.
That one is in there for a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike. Camley looks over at first. Schaefer has a small lead. Lead gets bigger. Throws back to first. Not in time. Oh! And the whole Franklin defense thought they had the win right there. Everybody started running out the field thinking the game was won.
That would have been the way right there to seal the deal.
Franklin's assistant coach was halfway to the pitcher's mound thinking they won the game.
Well, let's find out right now.
It's So Jenkins steps back in, 1 ball, 1 strike. The whole team started running in thinking that was the game. Gamley sets. Here's the pitch inside, 2-1.
Let's see it right here. Ooh, that was close.
It was close. 2 balls, 1 strike, 2 out. Here's the pitch. That one's lined up the middle. Through, base hit. Schaefer will get to third. And Kaukauna has runners on the corners. 2 outs. And
so, here we go. So now if you're Franklin, you wish you had that pickoff attempt. Because now you're in a situation with runners on the corners, and now the go-ahead run is on base with Quentin Gussman coming up.
And here comes Steve Drobot. Could we...
Just 1 out here, maybe?
And they're going to be facing Quentin Gussman, who is 0 for 3 today.
Or is he just coming out for a substitute?
Oh, they're feeling second base to make sure that he touched it.
No, I'm signaling safe still.
Yeah.
So that was essentially Drobot almost saying, I want to challenge that.
Yeah.
And you talk about the climax of this game.
So now Gussman, the batter, now 0 for 3 today. He steps in here with a chance to tie this game. Gussman takes strike 1 on the outside corner.
They just need 1 out right now if you're Franklin. But now the tying run 90 feet away.
Gussman in search of his first hit of the day. Here's the pitch, and taken strike 2.
You know, you talked about it, right? Franklin scored that run in the bottom of the 6th inning. That run's bigger than ever now.
Yeah, so 0-2 now on the hitter. Gussman 0 for 3 today. Schaefer at third. Jenkins at first. Pitch swing and a miss. Strike 3. They'll have to go down to first to secure the out. Throw it on the first in time.
Look at Prescott Sanford celebrating the win.
The Franklin Sabres move to 15-1 with a win over the Kaukauna Galloping Ghosts this afternoon. A 3-2 win they just had to hang on to get. We'll be back with the Nasonville Dairy postgame show after this with head coach Steve Drobot. And let's do Prescott Sanford, who pitched to Gem today.
Good day. My name is Ken Hyman, and welcome to Nasonville Dairy here in central Wisconsin, Marshfield, Wisconsin, as a matter of fact. Nasonville Dairy actually goes back to 1885. We are the oldest plant in Wood County. When our father brought us here in the early 1960s, we ran 7,500 pounds of milk a day. We now run 1.8 million pounds of milk a day. We buy dairy milk from 200 dairy farmers here in central Wisconsin, produce it, and ship it all over the world. We make a lot of different cheeses. We make cheddar, Colby, Monterey, Farmer's Cheese, Peach Cheese, Quesa Blanca, Quesa de Freer, Seco, Parm, Romano, Asiago, Fontina, Feta Caseri, Caflatiri, Cafla Graviera, 20 different flavors of Monterey, as well as making Edam, Gouda, and Munster. This has allowed us to go to a lot of different countries. Our furthest accounts are now in China, Japan, Canada, Saudi Arabia. We do ship to Mexico, as well as a number of other places throughout the world. This is what we call Cheese Making 101. We tried to walk you through the cheese plant today, and we're in hopes that you see our people, what they're doing, and the amount of work that goes into producing the products that we hope you enjoy. We make a lot of different cheeses. We make cheddar, Colby, Monterey, Farmer's Cheese, Peach Cheese, Quesa Blanca, Quesa de Fir, Seco, Parm, Romano, Asiago, Fontina, Feta Caseri, Cafetieri, Cafla Graviera, 20 different flavors of Monterey, as well as making Edam, Gouda, and Munster. And the cheese be with you.
Looks good. All right, you guys right here.
Okay.
All right, so back here on our Nasonville Dairy postgame show, here's head coach Steve Drobot. Coach, 14-1 this season. Just tell me what's been going well.
Being real consistent with our hitting. Each day in, day out, we've been finding a way to really make some solid contact. It's all different guys, 1 through 9 today. Our 8-hitter Carter Frazier with a big 2-out, 2-strike hit in the 6th to get us that go-ahead, that extra run that ended up being the game-winning hit. So when you can get guys that can hit 1 through 9, you're putting yourself in a good spot to win a lot of baseball games, and we're pretty fortunate we've been able to pull out quite a few of them this year.
Just tell me, you guys are up 2-1 from the first inning on, and obviously, like you said, Carter Frazier got the big hit against the Kaukauna team you guys have been playing with the last 3 years. So just tell me about what it means. Like, you're playing such a good Kaukauna team down here, but just tell me about the key steps that went through to win this game today. Obviously, on the pitching side of things throughout the first 5 innings.
To beat a team like Kaukauna, you got to do all facets of the game right. We did a really good job defensively, not making a big mistake. And anytime we had maybe one little slip up, we were able to overcome it with another big play. So, if you get the other team out, it's hard for them to score. We did a really good job of that today. The pitching was solid up and down the whole day. Bennett Schuler starting it off. He's slowly coming back from injury, and we're proud of him to start getting back on the mound. And then our guy to the right of me, Prescott Sanford, was clutch throughout the whole game. He kept hitters off balance through multiple pitches for strikes, and anytime there was runners on, he was able to get out of the jam. So, and then the timely hitting from Frazier was big. So when you run the bases well, you play good defense, you hit the ball, you got to do that to beat a really solid team. A lot of respect for Kaukauna. They really got a nice program over there.
So one last thing I want to ask you about is because, you guys went with the opener thing. You did Schuler the first day, and you had Sanford the rest of the way. Is that something you guys do pretty often?
Well, we're just trying to Bennett is coming off of injury, and so he's on kind of a pitch limit right now, any limit, so we're slowly working him back in. So to get him out there to start the game, you can kind of work within those limits a lot easier than if you would try to bring him in the middle of the game or close it out. So just rotationally wise, it's something that's working for us right now. We're hoping in the next few weeks he'll get to a point where we maybe can start games, go longer, or maybe come in and close out for 3 innings. But right now it's just one outing at a time, seeing how he's feeling, and we're just so happy to have him back. He really is a well-deserving kid that worked hard, hasn't been able to play for the last 2 years coming off of UCL surgery. You really root for a kid that's gone through all that adversity.
Awesome. Thanks for your time, Coach. We'll get our Highlight House player of the game over now.
All right, Scotty.
So Prescott Sanford, our Highlight House player of the game. So just tell me, you did a long relief during that game. You came in the second inning. Just tell me what went well.
Yeah, we're a great team and we band together. Anything that doesn't go our way, we all band together and we get it done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So just tell me what's been the keys to your 14-1 start as a team. You guys got a big series against Kenosha Tremper this week. You just took down a really good Kaukauna team this afternoon who's ranked in the top 25, similar to you guys. But just tell me what's it going to take the rest of the way, being 14-1, to continue that stride.
Yeah, our saying this year is faith and brotherhood. We come together. That's our big thing. We all trust each other. We all have each other's backs. We love each other and we fight as a team. That's the main thing.
Great to hear it. So take the mic.
All right.
Right up there. I'm going to count you down from 3, 2, 1. You're going to say your first and last name. I'm in the house. I'll get out of the way.
Wait, what did I say? Just my name?
Your first and last name, then I'm in the house.
And I'm in the house?
Yeah, right.
All right.
There, so.
Where am I looking? Right
up the press box.
All right.
3, 2, 1.
Prescott Sanford, and I'm in the house.
It's a great game today.
Thank you.
All right, absolutely. So Franklin gets the 3-2 win today against the Kaukauna Galloping Ghost. We'll be back for 3 games next week here on Zaleski Sports. So we'll see you next week, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday on the network.